What was that supposed to be? Clever? What was...
The PTS is online and working. We can now launch to polysorbate. What may I do for you, sir? Step over to the transport pad and I will beam you down to the surface of polysorbate.
Manual tosses you a transport signaler.
You can only use this from the place I beam you to.
The past few years have been no kinder to Fester than all the previous ones. He still has that nasal cavity molded look with no discernible skeletal features. Fester's from a rare rhinosupial species where the babies are born but climb into their parents' cavernous noses, where they continue to grow until they fall out from their sheer weight, or from a real good sneeze from their parental unit.
Howdy, stranger. The name's Blatz. Fester Blatz. Welcome to Implants and Stuff. Go ahead. Have a look around at some of the most interesting replacement body components this lovely planetoid has to offer.
Oh, a nice fresh sales pitch. Hello there, Mr. Blatz. I think I have something you might be interested in.
Think so, hey?
Oh, I really think you'll find it interesting.
Ooh! Why, I'd love to take that off your hands. Of course, you realize that it's illegal to sell those, but I could trade you for something. Look around and see what interests you.
I could really use a cyberspace jack.
Tell you what, I'll trade you for one of those fine specimens in the case. What do you say?
No, I want the jack or it's no deal.
Oh, now take it easy, Sonny. I think we can do business.
I'm glad you see it my way. It's been a pleasure. Take care, Fester. I gotta fly. That's the cyberspace jack.
It would appear that merging... It's a transport signaler.
Then, the Galactican said, if I did have hover capabilities, I wouldn't need the cleft snorter. Ah, excuse me, sir. How may I enhance your efforts?
That wouldn't prove... He seems to be busy with his experiments. It feels slightly... That's an interesting idea. It would appear... These aren't online yet. Apparently, budget isn't a big concern here. Ah, who wants to look at boring old research records? Try something else. After a click of the screen button, Plotigy begins to painfully, slowly fill the screen. Oh, screw it! Even you don't have the time or patience for this! Talk about a brave new world. You'd better be up for it if you plan to explore this cyber terrain. This cyber terrain is just a little arid. It's just more evidence to confirm the old adage that if there's time enough to do it, there's time enough to do it half-assed. That's quite a leap. You'd be able to clear it if you could get a running start, but you can't run in this game, only walk. In this space quest, you can't switch to sprint. Not even cyberspace is immune from the mentally deficient types who shoot at road signs. How macho they must think they are. Cool, cyber cacti. Talk about a brave new world. You'd bet this cyber terrain. You're back in your comfy, reassuring janitorial duds. Talk about a brave new... This cyber terrain... Hey, free birdseed, and so conveniently placed under a huge boulder, too. Forget it. You don't resemble that bird. Well, except for the pin feathers in those chicken legs of yours. Talk about a brave... This... For those of you who aren't paying attention, that's a stop sign. It's an office sign. The sign says it all. There was much talk and rhetoric about the information superhighway, but the executive and legislative branches seem quite opposed to getting together on just about anything either one of them introduces. Just look at the space program. Anyway, the frustration of a former employee is documented in the amendments to the opens date. Old highway safety devices recycled from either a decade or 10 years ago stand alert and ready for the non-existent workers to use. The Port Ahead by Schroed Johns Incorporated stands silently waiting to make its designated collection of organic waste products. It's a BFT 9000 Cyber Earth Mover. Wow, a genuine Tonkoid M501, and the best year, too. It's been a long time since it's rolled over any plastic crate. A carelessly discarded bucket of building material has been spilled and allowed to harden. Girders, some of the building materials some airheaded committee thought necessary for their project, lay unused and heavily rusted. This seems to be the contractor's office for the information superhighway. It's not too congested. It looks like some poor slob actually waited for his number to be called and died for his troubles. Looks like a programmer just prior to shipping. Looks like a programmer just prior to shipping. Similar to the mint bowl found on the desks of receptionists in those pre-super information highway days, a mint candy icon symbolically takes up valuable desktop space. Very tidy. A trash can. That might be a perfect place to store all those vital screen-saving programs like that cool Yasser Arafat version you've downloaded from POL. Pardon me, but I'm just a little nervous about this trash can thing. Didn't someone already go to court and spend wads of buckazoids over this?
Gary! Just read the copy, for Christ's sakes. We're not paying you to think. We just want that pretty voice of yours. All right, you friggin' union geek. Okay, people. Mr. Owens has gathered himself together, and we are ready to pick it up from that oh-so-fascinating Barney Fife meets Perry Mason segue. All right. Animation to speed. And roll.
This is the magic window whence you came. Although just a false front icon, it holds the promise of a tomorrow where true plug-and-play AM radio is no longer just a dream. That's a clock icon. A darling little fan icon decorates the accessories program group. Look, they even plan to have screensavers. A good idea for when those lines are all tied up. Who says they aren't thinking ahead?
Next.
That's the refreshments folder. Don't be looking for your father's Playboys in here either.
Cool. That looks like the file place.
Everyone knows that's the file manager.
Whatever. It still blows. Even a lowly pond-sucking janitor knows that.
I'm sure Win 2001 will be better.
Well, you hold your breath and I'll hold what I want while waiting for it, and we'll see who's...
Cheese it! Someone is listening to us, and I'm certain they didn't pay to hear this.
You're right. They'd probably like to hear more of me. I am the hero.
That, boys and girls, is Sis Innie. She runs things around here like an iron maiden, with the firmness of titanium BVDs, with the control of a steel belt-reinforced brassiere. What do you know? And ooh, let's puke hard Fusion 500. Uh-oh, looks like it could be a long wait for you too. The spirit of DMV lives on. Numbered cyber cards hang here, chiming peacefully in the cyber breeze.
Cut! Wait a minute! What is this chiming in the cyberspace crap? Scott, get over here. Change this.
What? Frickin' director. This guy would know a good line if it climbed up his... Oh, here.
All right, that's better. Try it again, Gary.
Numbers hang here.
Next.
Don't pick at it, you'll only make it worse. You get fingerprints all over it.
Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
As a matter of fact, I do possess that number. Read it and weep, Pixel Woman.
Oh no, you can't possibly. Oh. Well, I guess you're right.
You bet your palate, little 32 by 32 pixel mama.
An aluminite column. It's very warehousey. This floor looks pretty clean, at least by your standards. A darn capable fire extinguisher stands ready to save all this paper in the event of a fire. They've spared no expense. There are some useless papers strewn about the floor. This is inexcusable, especially since it's not your floor to clean up.
Man, these filing cabinets are a mess. Even I could keep them up better than this. Man, these filing cabinets are a...
That file apparently doesn't... Excellent guess, Kreskin. Wrong, but excellent. That file apparently doesn't want to open.